Welcome back to the Upper Echelon Podcast where we keep it real and we keep it jiggy over here. Cause why? Cause we ain't never ever scared. Hit that like button on your way in. Make sure that you hit the notification bell and also share the video. You can donate to my channel at $UPP 1987. It'll be greatly appreciated. What's going on, you guys? Bear with me because my sinuses, per usual, are acting up this morning. And so if I got to sneeze or whatever the case is, then I just mute. Who's up in here? Hey, Sabi. Hey, Stella. Hey, Lawanda. K Brown. Treasure Life. Miss Lady. Sharon. Hey, Vonda. Who else? Who else? Hey, Chandrika. Hey, Letitia. Letitia Bell. Y'all, let's get into a couple. Before we get into my topics, let me just say Amber had a game night last night. It was so fun, y'all. It's so refreshing to just be able to, get online, get on YouTube, kick it with, your peers and just have a good time without all of the drama, all of the seriousness and foolishness. Okay. Let me just say that. So we had a really good time last night. So if you guys missed Amber's game night, it was really, really fun. I had fun. It was hilarious too. And I think that tonight, the game night is going to be on Krisha's channel. Yeah, it's gonna be on Krisha's channel. I'm gonna post her channel on my community wall. How's everybody feeling this morning? I wanted to get a couple of y'all. I done had a few conversations on my mind and I haven't really had the opportunity to get around to them. Why ain't nobody tell me that this fool? And I don't know. I'm like, I woke up early in the morning with this on my mind, but why didn't nobody tell me that this fool Kanye West done came after Jay Z and Beyonce's kids? I did not know that, and I was just randomly scrolling through social media, or I was randomly strolling through Facebook and I see, at first I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm like, it's no way that he said that. So I'm thinking like it's a joke or whatever, or clickbait or whatever. And so I clicked on it. Then I went to a couple of different, I put it in Google and I looked at a couple of different articles and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I said, no, this is on some reputable sites. It was on CNN website and all of this. So I'm like, oh, he actually did tweet this stuff and ended up deleting it. So if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, let me pull up this. First of all, y'all, let me pull up this article. Or first of all, look at this picture. It's always the person with the least room to be talking about somebody. Have y'all noticed that when it comes to people? When it comes to people, it's always the person that has, let me blow this up a little bit. It's always the person that has absolutely no room to be talking about somebody that is calling people names. Okay. So this fool right here tweeted on his Twitter account that Jay-Z and Beyonce's little little kids, hold on one second, y'all. Jay-Z and Beyonce's little kids, the 7-year-old twins that they have, are the R word. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I don't really want to say the word on my channel because I don't know if I'll even be flagged for saying the word. But this fool called Rumi and Sir, the two 7-year-olds, the R word. Now, I'm gonna get into what he said, but what I have noticed, and I think that a lot of people in the media have noticed, is that Kanye, well, not Kanye, but Jay-Z and Beyonce, they never really show their other kids. They never really push their other kids into the spotlight like how they do the oldest child. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce got 3 kids, right? Blue, correct me if I'm wrong, Blue, Rumi, and Sir. And Rumi and Sir are the twins. Now, if they got another kid, let me know. But I believe that they only got those 3. Now, the only one that we really see for real is Blue. Since day one, they have shown her, they pushed her into the spotlight. recently Blue went on tour. So they're not hiding her. So I want to talk about that really quick before I get into what Kanye said. But the other two, I just recently saw the little girl at a football game, the little girl Rooney at a football game, and I think that she was on like a commercial or like a music ad with Beyonce and Blue, and she didn't really have much to say. She just was laughing or something. Um, and a lot of people was looking at like her mannerisms when she was at that football game. Like the camera zoomed in on her, and a lot of people looked at her mannerisms and said that they think that she's autistic. And they think that the reason why Beyonce and Jay-Z are not sharing photos and pushing her into the spotlight and really showing those twins is because they're autistic. But my thing is, a lot of people are so uneducated about autism. So being on the spectrum does not mean that you're the R word. Okay, so there's a lot of different levels. Okay, so you could be on the autism spectrum um to where it's just difficult. Well, you could be on the spectrum to where it's difficult for you to have a conversation. It's difficult for you to interact with people. The way that you communicate with people is a little different than the way others communicate. Sometimes even you can point out, you can spot out an autistic person or autistic child by the way that they speak. Sometimes their speech is very choppy. It could be very robotic sometimes. It's just something about how they speak, and you can tell. And then there's like little twerks that they have. Or you could be on the level of autism where you're nonverbal and you can't speak at all. There is something called Asperger's syndrome where you're it's like you're just a regular person. Nobody would even know. But sometimes certain things come out like social awkwardness or whatever. Okay. So that doesn't mean that you're the R word. So to call somebody's kids the R word is diabolical. And the fact that he put it on Twitter is crazy. Now I can't say why Jay-Z and Beyonce are not showing their kids. Maybe they're trying to protect them because they know that like once you are classified as, having some sort of developmental disability, you're treated different. That's just what it is. You're treated different. People expect you to act a certain way, or you're not granted the same opportunities because people think that you aren't capable. And then look what's happening now. Everybody is speculating that their kids have some sort of disorder or whatever. But this fool right here, who has also, this is the crazy part, y'all. The thing that I find crazy about Kanye is that this fool actually came out not too long ago saying that he himself has been diagnosed with autism. So for you to come out and claim autism, and we don't even know if Kanye is really autistic. He do a lot of stuff for attention. But for him to come out and claim that he's autistic just to turn around and basically use that to attack two kids is crazy to me. And also, I don't know if y'all know this, but recently, I don't even think it was a live stream. I think it was like during like a recorded show or whatever with Kim Kardashian. Recently, excuse me, hold on. I gotta sneeze. Oh, y'all, I had a sneeze attack. But hey everybody coming in. Hey DM, hey Sharon. Hey that one, hey Hattie, Ruby, Treasure Life, Shanta, who else came in? Sierra, Elise, Patricia, Karen Young. Hey everybody. Now recently, uh his daughter, Northwest, actually came out and admitted that she has dyslexia. She told everybody that she was dyslexic. Now, her mom never said that it wasn't true. Her mom just said, "Why are you telling everybody that?" So I don't know where this shame comes from, but I think that it has a lot to do with just these celebrities trying to protect their children, because celebrities have kids that have disorders and disabilities and challenges, IEPs and struggles, and so just like everybody else. Okay. So Kanye West took to Twitter 2 days ago and posted that both Jay Z and Beyonce's kids are the R word. Again, I'm not saying that word. He said that both Jay Z and Beyonce's kids are the R word. And he also said that what's crazy is that because I don't know how factual this is, and that's why I'm put the disclaimer at the bottom of the screen. But he also said that Jay Z and Beyonce had those two twins by artificial insemination. And Kanye said that the crazy thing about artificial insemination is that you can choose whether or not your child has a disability. Now, I haven't done any research on artificial insemination, so I don't know how true that is. Like, I know that technology has gotten to the point where you can do artificial insemination or whatever, and you can decide the gender of your child. Because I remember a few years back when John Legend and his wife were getting ready to have another child, and they were saying that they had chose the gender. To me, that was mind blowing. Like, damn, technology is really getting out of hand to where you can choose the gender of your child. Like, to me, that's a major control issue. Hold on a second. I'm gonna always mute if I have to blow my nose. I'm never gonna sit there and blow my nose and all of that with with the microphone on. Um Shanta said, wow, wow, he said that about their kids, shaking my head and happy. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is Major's birthday today. He's 13 years old today, y'all. If y'all want to send him a special gift today, you can send it to my cash if I had it posted at the bottom of the screen, y'all. So let's read a little bit of this article. I'm just looking at how dumb he looks right here in this picture. Like I said, it's always the people who just don't have no room to talk about somebody being the R word, that they the R word. Okay, look at him. He's an idiot. Now, I'm gonna get into this article, but I'm gonna say this too, y'all. You know, Kanye, the thing about Kanye is that, first of all, I'm terribly ashamed that he's from Chicago, because y'all know I'm from Chicago. He's really an embarrassment. Dude is a weirdo. What I want to say is, we got to get out of this celebrity worship, because, to be honest, like, everybody's in an uproar and outrage now because what he said about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids. By the way, Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly are um, considering taking legal action against him for those tweets that he put on his account. And really, honestly, I hope that they do. But Kanye should have been canceled. Okay? We got to get out of worshiping celebrities. When these celebrities do something that's crazy and out of order, what's going on, Queen Step? What's going on, Kiana with a Q? Hey, Sharon Jones. When these celebrities do things that are out of order, a lot of times it's brushed off, and it's always a reason. Oh, he did it because he's a genius. Oh, he did it because he's expressing his he's an artist and he's expressing. Get out of here. No, he did it because he's ignorant. He did it because he thinks he can. He did it because he thought he's doing it because he thinks he can get away with it. He's doing it because he likes attention. Kanye, one thing I will say is that when people say that Kanye is crazy, he's not crazy. Crazy means you completely out of your mind. He might have some mental health issues, but he's not crazy. He's not out of his mind. And I'm also sick of people using his so-called mental health issues and the passing of his mom as an excuse for his behavior, because it's people out here with way less money and way less resources that have mental health issues, they go get the help that they need. He has so much money, so many resources. He has so many people surrounding him to where if he wanted to go get the help that he needs for his mental health, he could. Because ain't nothing worse than a person with severe mental health issues running rampant on the streets harassing everybody. Because that's what's going on here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get into this article. And not only that, but Kanye, the media and his fans have convinced him that he's a genius. That everything that he does is from his genius artistic expression. He even has started to blink. Do y'all remember when Kanye um had that big fashion show? I think, and this was like during the height of the Black Lives Matter. Well, it was after the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. This dude made shirts specifically saying white lives matter. Now I kind of okay, so the excuse for that was uh Queen Steph said he seemed to be out of his mind worse after his mother passed, but he was crazy before then. I think that, you know what, some stuff I think that he is affected by how his mom passed, because see, but some stuff that he does I believe is strategic. Because hold on. But some stuff I think that he does strategically. Just like the white, okay, so the excuse for the White Lives Matter t-shirts was that um there was this big scandal. Now it turned out, everything is alleged on my channel, but it turned out from my understanding that the a lot of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement was taking the monies that was donated to that organization and misappropriating the funds. They were buying houses, they were doing all of this crazy stuff with the money. So I don't know if that was a shot at the Black Lives Matters organization or what. But I just thought that it was terribly insensitive to do that. Okay, just here a month or so ago, he got caught out in public with a shirt on that he designed with a swastika on it. Like, why are we doing this? And then not only that, but he's a Trump supporter. Okay, that's his own personal prerogative, but see, he's bringing race into it. So I have to believe that some of the things that he's doing is on purpose. He loves attention, but at this point, it's outrageous. Okay, let me get into this article real quick. Oh, where am I? Okay, it says this article was posted on the 20th. Okay, so this is a BuzzFeed. It says Kanye West reached an all-time low after the super disgusting comments he made about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids, and I truly feel sick about it. It goes on to say, if there's one thing we learned, okay, because Tina Knowles did respond, is that she doesn't play about her family, especially her children. On Tuesday, Kanye West posted a string of tweets berating his former close friend and collaborator Jay-Z and his wife Beyonce. The tweets became increasingly disturbing when Kanye made disgusting comments about the Carter's 7-year-old twins, Rumi and Sir. Although Kanye later deleted the tweet, he revealed he only did so because there was a possibility that his ex account would get canceled. Then he followed the tweet up by saying he loves Jay. This dude is a nut. He then followed the tweet from where he said that their kids were the R word, saying that basically he is accusing them of choosing to have children with disabilities. Because like I said, he's saying that you can have the beautiful, this is what he said, and this was like shade. The beautiful thing about artificial insemination is that you can choose to have R-word kids. Okay. So I don't know why somebody would choose that, because if you have a child, anybody that has a child with disabilities knows how challenging that is for them and the child. So I don't know why anybody would choose for their child to be disabled. Obviously, every child is a blessing. It doesn't matter if they're disabled or not. I don't even know if I would consider autism a damn disability. Don't kids be smart as hell. Now I can understand if you're on a spectrum to where you're nonverbal, but the if you're higher up on the spectrum and those people be smart as hell. Have you ever met a person that I have met a few people in my lifetime that I thought were absolutely brilliant, and then they told me that they were autistic, and I'm like, what? So I don't know. Whatever, that's debatable. Um, he then followed the tweet up by saying he loves J and B, but he holds resentment towards them. Tension between Kanye and Jay seemed to escalate in 2016 when Chicago rapper publicly criticized Jay for allegedly not reaching out to him or his family after his ex-wife Kim Kardashian was robbed at gunpoint in Paris. Now, if you remember, you know what, I think I might play that video. If you remember during the concert, Kanye literally out of the blue, started talking about stopped his music, stopped performing, and started going on a rant about Jay-Z and how their kids don't play together, they never met, and how he's basically trying to disconnect from him, and he thinks his kids are too good to have. It was just a crazy rant, and it went viral. Right, Queen Step. Hey Lolo, good morning. Rob J said, good morning. Would you trust somebody who's 30% crazy? That's what's out here nowadays, which is how it's getting past the hit. True. Yep. You're right. Upper, the face behind the Black Lives Matter organization was from the LBGTQ community that was led by. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. The face behind the Black Lives Matter organization was from the LBGTQ community that was okay. Yeah, people were saying that was all a scam. So I want to do some more research on that because I didn't know that. I might play that video of Kanye going off on Jay-Z and after his wife Kim Kardashian was robbed at gunpoint in Paris, and he went off about how nobody reached out to him. I might play that video. I know it's on YouTube. And we not gonna get off topic, but to be honest with you, everything on this channel was alleged, but I didn't believe that shit anyway. I thought that was a whole publicity stunt. I did not believe. First of all, how somebody just get into Kim Kardashian's hotel room? How? There's no security? You expect me to I never believed that. I always thought that was a publicity stunt. Oh, Kim Kardashian was they said she got tied up in there. It was ridiculous. It reminded me of she was the first Jussie Smollett, okay? Because how the hell, this is Kim Kardashian we're talking about. She has a lot, and I could add 30 more a lots on there. A lot of money. She knows who she is. She celebrities wouldn't dare be in a hotel and with no security. I just don't understand that. I might revisit that story too, because it was something fishy about all of that. I didn't believe that, and I don't believe it. I don't believe that ever. I believe that it was staged for publicity. Okay, let me finish this. Kanye went on to say on his X rant, I love Jay-Z and I do feel bad, Kanye wrote. I always felt like the black sheep, like I wanted family in this music, SHIT. I'd run on stages thinking I was doing the right thing and would always be a slight hove not coming to my first wedding, him putting Kendrick on the Super Bowl over me. First of all, okay. Or even us never being invited to SHIT, taking jabs about my red hat on Donda. I felt like both him and his wife could have helped me have more leverage with my kids. They could have used their cultural position to not just watch the Kardashians run me over. SHIT hurts, so F both of them, because when I needed them, it was F me. We as adults have to get out. See, this is the thing, Kanye. As adults, we have to get out of thinking that somebody owes us something. Them people do. Why is it that? See, the thing about it, Biggie Smalls said it best. Was that Biggie Smalls that said it? Biggie Smalls said it best. More money, more problems. When somebody has a lot of money and a lot of influence, for some reason they are expected to fix everything. They all of the responsibility falls on them. Now, what the I need Kanye? What the hell do Jay Z and Beyonce have to do with the Kardashians and them running over you? Kanye knew who he married and who he was having kids with before he did so. He knew the type of family that he was getting married into. Now he wants to sit there and try to put all the responsibility on Jay-Z for not saving him. You're a grown ass man. This is why I think that this guy something is wrong with him. You're a grown man. You knew what you were doing. You look at who he married. Somebody that he married someone who got into the industry and became well known from a sex tape. Basically, a PORN star. Basically, he and not only that, not only did she blow up from a video, a sex video, but her mother promoted it. Her own mother, Kris Jenner, promoted it. So you married into a family, you married a woman whose own mother was exploiting her in that way. Basically, the woman pimped out her daughters. And now you afraid that you being ran over and you don't have enough influence and say so over the way that your daughter is being raised. Because he made a lot of tweets saying that his daughter was being raised improperly. She's dressing too grown. She's wearing makeup. She shouldn't be on TikTok or whatever. And he's afraid that the Kardashians are going to sex traffic Northwest and all of this stuff. But and I mean I get the concern, but why are you concerned now? You sat there and had how many kids did he have with Kim Kardashian? Kanye has Northwest. They got Chicago West. Uh, shit, I forget the other girl name. I think they got like 4 kids together. You sat up there and had 4 kids with this lady on purpose. And now you want to talk about you scared that she gonna sex traffic your kids because of the type of family that she comes from, as if you didn't know that. Then you expect Jay-Z and Beyonce to save you. Are you crazy? And then at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, and at the height of all of this stuff, George Floyd, all of this stuff that Black people have been going through over the past 5 or 6 years. And I'm just going to use the 5 or 6 years. But obviously, historically, Black people have gone through so much abuse in America. But I'm just going to say between the last 6 or 7 years, all of the stuff that's been going on, okay? You want to hop your stupid happy ass up there with a Make America Great Again hat on. And then you think that Jay-Z and Beyonce is supposed to come and save you from the criticism. You know, you can't make this stuff up. And I understand why I understand why Jay-Z and Beyonce distance themselves from Kanye. He is a bad look. He's a bad look. He's very unpredictable. He's a liability. You don't know what's going to come out of his mouth next. They knew they was done with him when he ran up on that stage and snatched the damn microphone from Taylor Swift. He is a liability. Lolo, what you say? His mental health really needs to be evaluated upper. It does need to be. At one point, he was hospitalized, and that's when he started gaining. I think this was probably back in 2021 or 22. No, it might have been about 2020, like around COVID or something like that. It was one point he was hospitalized for a while, and then he finally popped out, and he had his hair dyed bleach blonde, and he accused Kim Kardashian of trying to get him committed. Somebody needs to get you committed. And now Kim Kardashian allegedly is fighting for full custody for her kids. I don't blame her. I would be scared to death to allow my kids to be around Kanye alone. That dude is out of his mind. Let's just be honest. Was leery about the procedure, but her baby is fine. Her ass walking around here with a blue-eyed baby. Wait a minute, what? Okay, so I guess somebody chose the color of the baby's eyes, huh? Yes, technology is getting crazy. Right, Upper. She did sell her kids. Now the dad transitioned to a female and back. Wait a minute. I almost lost my breath. What's the guy name? What's the daddy name? The one that turned into a woman. What he turned back into a man? I don't believe that he was a very good looking woman anyway. Because here's the thing: if you're gonna transition, then damn it, transition. But Bruce Jenner, this dude walking around with hairy legs, hairy legs, high heel shoes, a fucked up wig, and walking around still sounding like Lou Rawls and still got a penis. What are we doing here? And still sleeping with women. Still sleeping. These people are. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to judge, but sir, if you're gonna transition, if you say that you feel like a woman, then why are you not? Why are you not being a woman? Shave your legs, take some hormones or whatever. Fix that voice. Your voice deep as hell. Do something with yourself. I mean, he was walking around like a football player in a dress with a deep ass voice. I'm like, he needs to take care and still dating and sleeping with women. And was I remember he went on somebody's show. I forget. It might have been Ellen DeGeneres. He went on somebody's show. He said some controversial stuff about gay people and uh, the LGBTQ community attacked him or whatever. But he said that he considers himself a lesbian because he sees himself as a woman. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. So you turn into a woman because I'm thinking he's transitioned into a woman because he like men, but no, he just transitioned to a woman because he wants to be a woman, but he still is attracted to women. So he is saying he is a woman, but he's just a lesbian. And I'm like, what? You know what? This is what I'm gonna say, Queen Steph. These I know that them Kardashians are screwed up in the head. Looking at their parents, it's some child. There's some weird stuff going on in Hollywood. Attitude and all be giving Kim hell. Oh, yep. North be saying anything out her mouth. Remember that video where I forget what was said, but I think it was one of Kim's friends and was like, do you want to see something about what your mom does? And North was like, well, what does she do? Basically, like, what do you do? What are you famous for? Just straight out asked her. I don't even know what you're famous for. She was like, I know my dad do music and he a rapper and a producer, but I don't know what my mom do. I don't even know why she famous. See, that's the thing. These celebrities be wilding out and doing these sex videos and doing all of this stuff, and just and then at a certain point they have kids, and then their kids are gonna have to see this stuff. I'd be wondering, like, that has to be so uncomfortable. Like, what about like I think the same thing about Cardi B. You're like, your kids are gonna see that WAP video one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess anything for the almighty dollar. Melissa Santana said, "Yep, everybody be thinking, who is that baby pappy? Because who would ever think that there's such a procedure? Oh, for the blue eyes, he's gonna tell. He gonna tell it all. That's another reason the distance to self industry is wicked." Lolo said he is reckless. There is no way I would want him to have custody. Hell no. Hell no. When I saw them heels and them hairy legs be killing me. But I didn't know he turned back into a man though. Lolita said good friends should be supportive and reliable, offering emotional support, a listening ear, and a shoulder to lean on during both good and difficult times. And Kanye considered Jay-Z a good friend. I agree with that, Lolita, to a certain extent. Yes, a friend should be a shoulder to lean on, but when it comes to a certain point where if your behavior and your decisions in your life are going to affect me, my money, my family, in the way that I'm perceived in my business, then no, I cannot sacrifice me and my family because you're making poor life decisions. So yes, I can be a good friend, and I think that Jay was a good friend because without Jay-Z, Kanye would not be. Nobody would know anything about Kanye West if it weren't for Jay-Z. But it comes to a point where, at what point are you going to stop the behavior? Because I cannot continue to connect myself with you behaving this way. You're going off on stage, okay? You're calling your ex-wife a prostitute on stage. You're wearing a White Lives Matters t-shirts. You're wearing swastikas. Okay, you're making inappropriate comments about George Floyd. You're wearing "Make America Great" hats again, or "Make America Great Again" hats. You're doing all of this crazy stuff. So at a certain point, it's beyond me being a good friend. At a certain point, I got to protect myself, my reputation, my job, and my kids and my wife. Ain't nobody about to lay their life on the line for Kanye. I don't know what, because he's going to continue to behave. Now, if you have a mental health issues going on and you agree to go get help, then that's another thing. Now I can work with that. But if you just gonna just say you don't need the help and continue the behavior, I can't rock with that, even as a friend, because we're both adults and I have to look out for me too. I got to look out for me. And Jay-Z has built a huge empire over the past 3 decades or so. And you think he gonna let that go to shit for Jay-Z? I mean, for Kanye, crazy ass? I don't think so. I wouldn't either. Not with somebody running around don't even think they need no help. Okay, he don't even think he need no help. North didn't like how Kim posted herself on the internet all seductive. North be telling the truth, okay? Let's go down a little bit. It says, well, it didn't take long for his damaging opinions to get back to the Carter and Knowles family. On Wednesday, Beyonce's mom, listen, Tina Knowles be, she be, that lady don't play. On Wednesday, Beyonce's mom, Tina, took to Instagram for the latest installment of her corny joke series, but this one seemed to be directed at Kanye. So I'm on the set of so she goes on to say, this is Tina Knowles. So I'm on the set of a photo shoot today for my book, Tina said in her Instagram video. And I wanted to tell you a corny joke. What happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. Y'all know that's funny. I didn't know she had a corny joke series, but yeah, that was corny. It's hard to remain positive and classy in the face of ignorance and evil, she reportedly wrote in a now edited caption. But I know that no weapon formed against me or my family shall prosper. This battle is not mine, but the Lord's. I know that God has got this, she wrote. So these are just a couple of tweets from her page. I'm not going to read that. So I think that I'm pretty much done covering that, y'all. Kanye, go get you some help. Go get you some help, Kanye, because it's coming to a point now where it's affecting his business. Now, the only thing, y'all, that I don't like is that I don't like the fact that people are only outraged when their favorite celebrity is affected. People really got to broaden their horizons. Lita said, I agree with that. No, my bad. That was the blog stating he went back as a man. He's still Caitlyn. Good morning, Tonya. Hey, wise one. People really have to start thinking a bit deeper and looking a bit deeper, because the same outrage that it seems like a majority of people have now because of what he said about Jay-Z and Beyonce's 2 kids, because people worship Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I don't worship anybody but God, okay? But people worship Jay-Z and Beyonce, and so now people are outraged because he's seemingly attacking their children. But people should have been outraged when he wore that White Lives Matter shirt a little bit more. He should have been canceled after he wore the swastika. Okay, there's so many different times that Kanye's ass should have been fucking canceled. But now, because he came after the royal family, he being canceled. People really got to think about that. Like, worship culture in with celebrities is sickening. Because not only are people canceling Kanye all of a sudden now, the same people that didn't cancel him for the swastika shirt are canceling him now because he came after Jay-Z and Beyonce. But there are actually people still defending Kanye after what he said about those children, which is even crazier. You that obsessed with a celebrity that you will say it's okay. You'll make excuse. This same thing. I ain't even gonna bring that topic in there, but I say this: people become so obsessed with social media influencers. I just leave it there because that's the same thing as celebrities. Social media, anytime somebody is well known, popular, or influential, that's celebrity. Recently, I was involved in a saga where people were so obsessed with this social media influencer, this woman, that no matter what she did, they supported it. Some of them supported her for so long until she kept on doing stuff and they couldn't support her because they started looking stupid. But we'll leave that story alone. I'm gonna leave that story to Queen Step. Okay. I'm gonna let Queen Step break that shit down for y'all because she does a very good job breaking that shit down. But yeah, people were worshiping that person so much that she was out here doing whatever she wanted to do, and they were going live 5 times a day still defending the motherfucker. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. These people are still human that bleed like we do. And when they do something wrong, they should be held accountable for what they do. They should be told that they're wrong. Their money should be affected. Okay? So that they don't feel comfortable out here spreading propaganda and foolishness and dangerous narratives. Because a lot of times, a lot of these social media influencers and celebrities push these dangerous narratives knowing that they're popular, so people are just going to agree with it. For instance, like I said, I'm going to leave that to Queen Step, but the saga thing, because she do a real good job covering it. But I want to say this, though. I want to say this about that. So, just like how we have to be careful who we make famous, I'm just going to say that. Because what I kept on saying at the beginning of the saga was there is a dangerous narrative being pushed here, and I don't fucking like it. And the dangerous narrative that's being pushed is a narrative for single moms that it is okay to basically let a stranger move into your home because you got needs too. Somebody that you don't even know. That is a dangerous thing to push to single mothers, because things happen to children when you allow someone to just come into your home like that. And not only was that social media influencer pushing that narrative, but her supporters were also supporting that narrative just because she was saying it was okay. So when you have a large platform or a large following, and you're extremely influential like that, you bear a huge responsibility to the narrative that you decide to push and what you decide to promote. And that's really, really important. You have a lot of responsibility. And I just felt like that was grossly disgusting, really, that was being promoted. Just move in any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, that's crazy. That's craziness. So, but let me get back on to to my next topic, y'all. Please look, I'm gonna get on to my next topic. That's what they are. That's what people consider them, Lolo, the royal family. I'm gonna bring this story to y'all real quick. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it. I'll probably come back live and talk about it. But I don't know if you guys heard about this story. The two black boys in Georgia that were found up in the mountains. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of them really, really quick. Hold on. They were found deceased in the mountains in Georgia. get this picture so that y'all see what they look like. Okay, let me pull this down. Can I open this? Okay, hold on. Okay, so this here are the two twins. Okay, these two boys were found in the Georgia mountains deceased. Now the authorities are saying these two boys unalived themselves, each other. So they're saying basically that it's the M word, MURDER. You know you got to be careful saying certain words. Or it was a it was a murder suicide. I just have to say it. I get sick of spelling stuff on YouTube. So, incredibly tragic story. Now, I hate when these ads pop up. Now, the authorities are trying to say that they did this to themselves. I personally don't believe it, and the family doesn't believe it. Okay, so let's get into this article really quick, so you guys are overall synopsis of what's going on in this story. Okay. Says here in this article that was published on the 18th, a Georgia family is demanding after twin brothers were found SHOT found SHOT in the mountains. Nazir and Quadir Lewis, 19, were meant to board an early morning flight to Boston on March 7th, according to the family. 24 hours later, the twins' bodies were found 90 miles away in the Bell Mountains, officials said. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation believes it's a murder-suicide, but their family is pushing back on that theory. The family says, how did they end up in the mountains? They don't hike out there. They've never been out there. They don't know anything about the correct me if I'm saying this wrong. I'm not from Georgia, so they don't know anything about the Hiwassee, Georgia. They don't know anything about Hiwassee, Georgia. So that's where they were found, Hiwassee, Georgia, in the mountains. They've never even heard of Bell Mountains. Their aunt Samira Bronner said. The family said that they saw the brothers on March 6th in their pajamas. The twins' uncle said the brothers were protective of each other and he couldn't imagine them hurting each other. State investigators are waiting for additional forensic test results before issuing a final ruling on the cause of death. Now, I'm really interested in seeing where this thing is going to go. Now, recently, an arrest was made, but there was not an arrest made in the unaliving of these boys, but there was a arrest made of a volunteer firefighter, not for doing anything to them, but for taking a picture of the crime scene. I don't believe, first of all, these two boys were not familiar with that area. How did they find themselves in Hiwassee, Georgia? How did they find themselves in the mountains? Why would you need to go all the way up into the mountains to do a murder-suicide? Not only that, but they had planned a trip for the next day. If you're getting ready to take yourself out, you're not making plans for tomorrow. So somebody did this to them. Who married her husband and he strangled. What? Sorry, about 6-year-old. Who married her husband and he strangled her. I have to look that up. I gotta look the story. Send it to my inbox on Facebook, that one. Hanging with Miss D said, my question is, how did they get from the airport up into the mountains? That's wait a minute. Did they make it to the airport hanging with Miss D? So I didn't hear that part of the story. Yeah. I'm about to get into that video, Queen Step. Only part that I know is that they had scheduled a trip to Boston, and they ended up in the mountains. Okay, so first of all, you're not making plans like that and then deciding to take yourself out. Also, if you want to take yourself out, why you got to take yourself miles and miles and miles away to do a murder-suicide or whatever? Whoever, if they're saying that one of the twins unalived one of the twins and then unalived themselves, they could have did that right in the backyard. Why they got to go all the way up into the mountains? Somebody was hiding them. That's why. Um, right, Karen. I don't think they ever made it to the airport. Yeah. So let's get into this video. Okay, so now this is a another piece that has been introduced into this story where the volunteer firefighter apparently was arrested. I don't know if this means anything as far as may possibly he could be a suspect in their unaliving. But come on, let's just be for real. We know that they didn't unalive themselves, okay? This reminds me so much of the Kendrick. It was right there. The Georgia team. What was his name? Kendrick. Let me see. Hold on, because I gotta find it. In London, Florida. What's the boy name? Damn, I did a story on him before too. The boy from Florida, Kendrick Johnson. This reminds me of Kendrick Johnson. Yeah, thank you, Mardus. Where they said Kendrick, the team, Kendrick Johnson, who was found rolled up inside of a one of those floor mats, gym mats, shoes off, the shoes all the way 3-4 feet away from the body, face beat up. His appearance, they connected, they likened his appearance to Emmett Till. Clearly foul play, clearly. But see, when it comes to these black kids and these black boys or just black people in general, they don't feel like investigating. They don't. It's same thing with. It's not just unalivings though. It's also, see, I get passionate about this topic. It's also when it comes to missing black people. They don't want to investigate. Do y'all remember when that lady Patino went? Y'all remember when Patino went missing? Gabby Patino, they got a whole document. She got a whole Netflix special. Not saying that she don't deserve that, but she got a whole Netflix special. But do y'all remember when Gabby Patino first went missing? Y'all remember that, right? They had the FBI involved. It was hell. I'm sorry for jumping from different topic to topic, but they had helicopters out search. They searched for that girl night and day. It was all on CNN and everything. It was all, the whole world knew about Gabby Patino when that blonde haired, blue eyed girl went missing. But right before, think back, y'all, right before Gabby Patino went missing, who went missing before Gabby Patino? What's that? Somebody please, because I'm bad with names. So many stories be going through my head at once. Somebody dropped the name in my chat. The black boy from Illinois, I should know this, but the black boy from Illinois that went missing. The last sighting of him was a surveillance camera video of him walking into a marijuana dispensary. And then he left out and was never seen again. They searched for him for a little while, couldn't find him. The mom kept pushing and pushing and pushing for them to continue to search for her son. And then she really started making the mom really started making a lot of noise when everybody started talking about Gabby Patino, because she said my son is missing and Gabby Patino is all on CNN and nobody is covering my son. They ended up finding the boy in a lake, in a pond or something. Nobody remembers what's the boy's name? Harmony. No, Harmony is friends with the boy's mother too. Can't nobody think of that boy name. Remember, he went. I'm gonna move on in a minute, but I can't let that go. He went missing, and they saw him at a marijuana dispensary, and then this was happening in Illinois, and then he left out of the marijuana dispensary. He went missing. Nobody saw him again. He was in med school. Let me look this up. Hold on. I'm a fan. Hold on. I found it. That's Jelani Day. Y'all remember Jelani Day? So I'm gonna take this down 1 second, and then I'm gonna show y'all Jelani Day, and then I'm gonna where is it? This Jelani Day. Remember Jelani Day went missing in Illinois. Hold on. Let me pull this down. Jelani Day went missing in Illinois right before Gabby Bettino. Right before Gabby Bettino, but nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about it like how they, no, it wasn't no firefighters, no helicopters, no FBI, no CIA, no CNN looking for him. So the Black community made a lot of noise about how are you blatantly in our face searching for Gabby Bettino, and you should search for Gabby Bettino. But we see how you're not putting in the same type of effort for Jelani. Because see, when a Black person and a white person go missing at the same time, now Jelani made local news. When Gabby Bettino went missing, she made national news. But see, Jelani's mama wasn't playing about him. And when Jelani's mama saw that everybody was talking about Gabby Bettino, she said, "Oh, you gonna talk about my son too?" His mother is the only reason why he was found. If she would not have made a big deal about this, about Jelani, I don't think they would have found him. I think they would have stopped searching for him, because that's how they do Black people. So that was just an example that I wanted to use. Okay, so about how they completely dismiss when it comes to missing Black people, murdered Black people, they don't care. Oh, they killed themselves. Oh, it was drug related. Oh, it's just they don't investigate. They don't care. Okay, now this is really quick about the arrest of the volunteer firefighter in the Mountain Twins Unalived. Now they're not saying that the firefighter had anything to do with the Mountain Twins, because that's what they're calling them in the news, the Mountain Twins. However, he was arrested for taking a picture of the crime scene. So let's play this really quick.
Volunteer firefighter arrested, accused of taking a picture of the crime scene showing the bodies of twin brothers who'd been shot to death at the top of a mountain, and then sharing those pictures.
That's right. So the hiker found 19-year-old Khadir and Nazir Lewis at Bell Mountain in Towns County on March 8th. This is 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially labeled the shooting as a murder-suicide. However, the family believes something more sinister happened to the twins.
11 Alive's Cody Alcorn first reported the family's concerns on Friday. He spoke with them again tonight following the arrest of this firefighter. Cody's live for us tonight in the newsroom. And Cody, the family is reacting to what's really disturbing development.
That's right, Jennifer and Ron. Obviously, they are disgusted by all of this. Now, we don't know just how many people shared this horrific picture of the twins' dead bodies, but tonight I confirmed with the Towns County schools the picture had been shared among students.
Oh my goodness. It's scary. I'm like literally scared to actually go on social media. I'm scared to pick up my phone. I'm like, because if I see that picture, I already know that I might have a heart attack.
Imagine if they mother see that, like, that would really destroy her. She's already going through a lot.
This is how the family of Khadir and Nazir Lewis want to remember the twins. However, now worried knowing crime scene photos showing the 19-year-old's bodies with a gunshot wound have been shared outside of law enforcement.
It's very disrespectful to this family. I feel like our privacy was invaded.
The volunteer firefighter accused of taking the picture, charged and arrested. As for how the twins ended up on Bell Mountain on March 8th, their aunt and uncle can't make sense of it. The twins missed their flight to Boston on Friday morning, March 7th.
Then next thing you know, we hear the news about them found in the mountains. And we're still confused. I'm like, what? The twins? Mountains? This doesn't make sense.
We didn't believe that that was even them.
And then Bell Mountains, I'm like, no one even, we never even heard of before. And I know the twins never been there before. They never heard of it before. I'm like, that was super strange.
Yes.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
The GBI initially calling the case a possible murder-suicide. The family adamant that can't be the case.
Doesn't make any sense.
This absolutely just.
This is their family. I don't know who they are, but I know they're his family members. they're not the mother and the father, and that's not the parents, because I just heard her say that I just heard her say if the mother sees that, she would be, devastated. She's already going through enough. So obviously the mother's not sitting here. But I just noticed something. Twins must run in their family because they're twins. These two ladies, you can tell they're twins.
It's like out of character.
Yes.
Their bodies found 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville.
They don't even like driving the distance.
They don't.
That's
Because
something they don't do.
yeah, because they don't like to pay for gas.
Described as extremely protective of one another.
Every time you see them, they're like together all the time. Yeah. All the time.
And there's probably nothing in your head you could imagine that got between them that would lead to a murder-suicide.
No.
It's sad.
If they had a problem that severe, we would know. The family
Definitely.
would know.
The Towns County volunteer firefighter accused of taking the pictures, Scott Curlin, was charged with misdemeanor obstruction. Tonight, the attorney for Towns County told me there are no cameras at Bell Mountain. He said the area is not staffed. Now, the gate to Bell Mountain opens at 8 a.m. and closes at sundown. The twins' family says the twins' car was found inside the gates in the parking lot. Their phones, wallet, and plane tickets for that Boston trip were inside the car.
All right, Cody, a lot.
I believe somebody did something to those twins. I believe this. First of all, there's a lot of things that need to be investigated. I find it very disturbing that the firefighter would take a picture and share it of the crime scene. I want to know, is there something called crime scene investigators? I'm sure y'all know that. I want to know what they say as far as where the two twins were unalived at. I find that to be very important. Were they unalived in the mountains or were they unalived somewhere else? Because if they were unalived, this is how we're gonna be able to determine if this was foul play. Because if they were unalived somewhere else and then taken to the mountains, that's two different things. Okay. It sounds to me like somebody may have gone to the mountains with them, or they may have given someone a ride, or maybe someone possibly even stole their car, or and with them in it and unalived them on the way or whatever. It sounded to me like somebody did this to them. Now, if they look at the crime scene, they can tell if the twins were unalived there. If they do a search of the car, they can see if there's any blood or DNA evidence in the car, indicating that they may have been transported to that crime scene. And it's possible that they were unalived somewhere else. They can tell that by the amount of blood at the crime scene, or if they could tell by the amount of blood lost. If there's not enough blood at the crime scene and it doesn't equal the amount of blood lost in the boys' bodies, they can assume that the boys were unalived somewhere else and transported to the mountains. Isn't it weird that they still had their plane tickets in the car as if they were still going on the trip? Come on now. So they need to continue to investigate this. Hey, Danny. Did they say why the firefighter was in the mountains? No, they didn't. But I just assumed that the firefighters were there as an emergency response upon the discovery of the boys. That's what I assumed. Letitia, yeah, there's a man in custody, but he's not in custody for unaliving them. He's in that person is a volunteer firefighter. He's in custody for taking a picture of the crime scene. So I don't know if there's any connection to him and the unaliving. If they will eventually discover that that there's a connection between him and the boys being unalived. But for right now, they're just saying he's guilty of taking a picture of the crime scene and sharing it. Right. It wouldn't make sense to me either if they were my family because of my location they were found. Yeah. And the thing about taking a picture and sharing it and it ending up on the internet and social media is that it directly affects the investigation, right? Because if the police or the investigators, uh, sometimes the only way, like say somebody confesses, right? They can't really take that confession serious because they're like, oh, well, you're saying that you did this or you did that or the crime scene looked this way to prove that you're the one that did it. However, anybody could know that because the photo was made public. Certain things the authorities, the police, the FBI keeps private because they want to keep their investigation tight. Because if somebody comes in and says, hey, I have proof that this person did this, or they told me that they did this, or if somebody comes in and confesses, they can take that confession or they can take that evidence a little bit more serious. But once a crime scene photo is released to the public, everybody knows what it looks like. Everybody knows what happened to the boys. Everybody knows uh, um, the positions of the body or the location of the body or how the boys were. All too much information is being given out. So that's one thing. The case has already been compromised by that firefighter. So good morning, Nancy. Uh, okay, y'all. I had a good time talking to you guys. I've been on for about an hour. We had a great build this morning. I know it was early, so you just coming in here. Hey, Nancy. If you just coming in here, you can go ahead and hit the replay and check it out from the beginning. In the beginning, we talked a little bit about Kanye. Man, we kind of merged into the Mountain Twins. I'm gonna continue to do a little bit of. Hold on. Who is this? Um, let's see. I'm sorry, I just got a text, but I'm gonna continue to do a little bit of research on that, and just continue to see what's going on with the investigation. I hope it's not just pushed off to or brushed off to the side that they did it was a murder suicide, because I don't believe that that's what it was. So go ahead and hit the replay and check my live out from the beginning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. They found the car. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in these YouTube streets. All right, y'all. Peace.